So, first off, I just want to start with the easiest news. And the easiest news is that Randy Orton was seen in Birmingham, Alabama, which Birmingham, Alabama is a hotbed for where wrestlers go for surgeries and rehabilitation. Randy has missed a vast amount of time over the last few months. I believe the last time we saw Randy was over the summer. I remember that Randy was supposed to be rumored to be facing Roman Reigns, and I believe it was Money in the Bank. But that's when the injury jumped forward for Randy Orton, and the question came up: was Randy going to be able to sustain returning to the wrestling ring? And there was actually talk of Randy never actually being able to return. So this is actually a positive step forward for Randy, seeing that he's actually going to be able to return and that he's not completely done and going to have to retire. I don't know if this means that we're still going to get the Randy Orton heel turn that all of us expected. I don't know if it's going to be where Randy and Riddle are going to fight. I don't think you need to turn Randy heel because Randy coming back from this injury that some thought may have been the end of his career. It would be unnecessary to turn him heel. It would be, fantastic to see him as a babyface, a triumphant return. And even if you put him on SmackDown where he doesn't have to go with Riddle, and you just let Riddle and Randy have their ending, because turning either one of them heel would be unnecessary. But both Randy's wife, I think both Randy's wife and Randy, or just Randy's wife, posted a picture of Randy at the hospital. So it seems like Randy had got some sort of surgery done. It's unclear what why he was down there or what happened, but it seems like Randy's in good spirits. And after months of no news, some news is good news because I, for one, think WWE having Randy back before WrestleMania would be something that is good for the company because there is no guarantee that Cody will be back before WrestleMania, but it does seem like that will be the case. So WWE, much like AEW, needs a bit of a healthier roster. That WWE having a bit of a healthier roster would also be beneficial for the company as well. Speaking of WrestleMania, there has been a number of conversations between WWE and legends like The Rock, like Steve Austin, and of course, John Cena for WrestleMania this year in Hollywood. The Rock and John Cena, especially, as both men are well known in the realm of Hollywood. Steve Austin, after last year's WrestleMania with his altercation / match with Kevin Owens, it's a conversation that maybe Steve can come back again and do another match if he's up to it. The Rock has been rumored for the better part of the last 2 years to be facing Roman Reigns. And to further give Roman and establish Roman as a legend of this era and an icon, in my opinion, giving him the victory over his cousin would do exactly that. Because The Rock beating Roman would completely disregard the last 6 months or the last year, the last 2 years of all that build and all that intensity of having anybody outside of an active wrestler be the one that defeats Roman Reigns. So that's just me. As far as where we're going with WrestleMania and why I brought it up, there's a rumor that Logan Paul could be the challenger for John Cena at WrestleMania. And if, in fact, Logan is the one that's going to be challenging John Cena at WrestleMania, that would be the biggest test for Logan Paul as an active wrestler in WWE because he would be facing one of the biggest wrestlers in WWE history and one of and a top star. Not to say that Roman Reigns was not a big test, he did succeed with it. You know, Logan did succeed, from what I understand, at Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns. I'm just saying, on the big stage against one of the biggest stars in wrestling history, that's a big deal for Logan Paul. From what I understand, though, the only rumors around this match come from Logan himself, saying that him versus John Cena would be a dream match for him at WrestleMania, and something that he would love to see happen. So, I mean, I for one think it would be a banger of a match, and as the old approach would be, that it would be the easiest way to keep those types of matches together. And what I mean by that is, it wouldn't it wouldn't force an active wrestler to fight a part timer. It would force two part timers to fight each other, which would not be the worst thing. It would confine it to one match. You know what I mean? Even though an active wrestler would gain a lot from facing John Cena, I think you could also set up Cena, if Cena wants to do two matches in a year, SummerSlam or even Survivor Series. You could have it happen there with Cena against Theory, maybe at the Survivor Series, or whoever John would want to fight at the Survivor Series. Or I think Survivor Series would be better than SummerSlam because Survivor Series needs to be elevated a little bit, in my opinion. And the easiest way to do that would be including a WrestleMania type contest in the Survivor Series match. So that's just me. But that's just me. Another surprising bit of news is that World of Sports, the UK based wrestling promotion that has been around on and off for the last that has been in the public eye here and there. I think it went out of business a couple years ago, is planning or is rumored to be planning a return, which I think now would be the perfect time for them to do that, with WWE scaling back their presence for the time being in the UK. Also, apparently, they contacted former NWA World Champion Nick Aldis about being included in the project. And it's, pretty much definite that they contacted him. But it seems like this time around that they would go for more of a low budget, low cost, old school NWA-esque approach with the project, which apparently is the opposite of what they did the last time. There is also a rumor of a international live event, or maybe not a rumor, but there's a plan for WWE to do an international live event in January next year, in the build-up to the Royal Rumble, which I think the rumor is either the 18th or 19th of January, which the Rumble would be that weekend, I believe. And basically, it's odd that they would be going international that soon before the Rumble, but maybe it's a plan. Maybe it's a part of the plan to help increase the presence internationally, but also with the expected debut of NXT Europe, which I know everybody remembers that's the reason why NXT UK folded up earlier a few months ago, that NXT Europe is supposedly going to be jumping up next year, that if that's the case, then they need to be increasing their presence in the UK and an international live event before Royal Rumble could do exactly that. I also just want to mention that again, the Survivor Series is November 26th with Bianca Belair's team and Bailey's team in War Games, as well as the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre and another person in the Bloodline. I mean, in War Games, 2 War Games matches set for Survivor Series, as Survivor Series gets a facelift this year, which is much needed after the sad, old, tired state that it's been in with brand warfare the last couple of years. But also, as I mentioned at the end of the last video, Full Gear is this weekend, and we will be covering predictions Friday, November 18th, ahead of Rampage, and we will be doing a preview of Rampage alongside the Full Gear predictions on Friday. So you got that alongside the news video coming out this Friday. I may need to, plan ahead with the videos a little bit better and spread out the videos, because I do have some videos planned for later in the week, but I may need to split them up and plan out separately with all the AEW content that's coming out at the end of the week. What's going to help is when AEW Fight for the Fallen comes out. I will also, as more WrestleMania news comes out, I will be doing WrestleMania videos and separating out my WrestleMania news, which I usually do a side section on the website for WrestleMania. So I'm not going to do that this year. I'm going to do something a little bit different this year by making it videos instead. Honestly, I'm out of news. It's just fascinating to me that this match is still going. So I may have surprisingly found a new series for you guys, as Nikki Cross misses the diving headbutt, goes to the wall again. This time, Big Splash gets a little bit more emphasis off the thing. I don't know if she's trying. Here's what she's trying for, the crossbody block. Oh no, it wasn't a crossbody. Drop kick to the side of the head. The amount of finishers we've seen from Liv Morgan, the amount of finishers, I'm dumbfounded that's what caused the finish. But either way, a poorly timed dive off the top rope and going to the well one too many times allows Liv Morgan to get the victory over Nikki ASH. But this was anything but the match that I expected. So this not only became a news video, but it may have become something more than that. Either way, guys, these have been my thoughts on wrestling, and that's it for the news today. I will see you guys tomorrow for another news video. If you like what you saw in this video, let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on the idea of Logan Paul versus John Cena at WrestleMania, the possibility of seeing Randy Orton again, and World of Sports returning next year if you're a fan of the UK wrestling, and also an international live event planned in January ahead of the Royal Rumble. Let me know your thoughts on that and all things wrestling down below. But also a subscription and a like, any sort of interaction could help this video boost up in the algorithm, because you never know how the YouTube algorithm works. But before you go, do not forget to ding that notification bell next to the subscription box, and maybe one day my outro will actually be smooth. One thing that is smooth is I will see you guys in another video again soon.